Hey everybody, I'm Audra, certified barre instructor. I'm here today at Yes Power Yoga in Huntingburg, Indiana. Today's barre segment, we're gonna be focused on full body work, but incorporating a plank interval. So for your workout today, the only equipment you'll need is a mat. You can also do your plank work on the side of a kitchen countertop or on the back of a sturdy chair or couch if you prefer not to do it on the mat. So let's get started. Come ahead on up to your feet. We're gonna start with a warm up in parallel position. We're gonna get those feet side by side, toes pointed forward. Let's go ahead and just sink it down into chair. Extend those arms alongside the ears. Pull that center in and reach to the fingertips. Holding here, put your weight in the back of your heels, sitting back into those hips. Few more seconds here. And let's go ahead and warm up those legs with some movement. We're gonna add a squat. So sinking back, push back into the arms, into those triceps. Keep that center drawn in, and as you come up to stand, push up nice and tall in the spine. Keep pushing up into those arms. A few more like this. Here's 4, 3, 2. We're gonna bring it up to stand. Balancing on that right leg. We're gonna bring that left toe out to a point. Hover it up. Pull that center in and lift tall. Go ahead and balance it out and bring those arms up overhead. You can always keep one arm connected to your solid surface. Keeping that center drawn in, we're gonna add movement in that leg with the circle. Push that leg nice and straight, point the toe. Find your full range of motion. 2 more in this direction. And now let's reverse. Make sure that standing leg is soft, meaning you've got a slight bend in that knee. Two more. Last one, we're gonna hold it out there. Lift that leg as high as you can, pushing up into the resistance in that hip. Hold it here, lift it to the ceiling for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back into center. Moving back into that squat, sitting it back. Push up into those arms. Few more here. You should start to feel that heart rate rising. Counting down. Here's 5, 4, 3, 2. After this one, we're gonna bring it back up. Taking out that right toe. Hover it up. Find your balance. Soften that standing leg. See if you can bring those arms up overhead and lift. And let's go ahead and add that circle on that leg. Rotating it around, find your full range of motion. Stay nice and tall in the spine. Pull that center in tight. Here's 2, and 1, and let's reverse. Here's 2, and 1. All right, hold that leg, lift it as high as you can, pushing into resistance. Reach those fingers to the ceiling and pull that center in tight, holding. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it down to stand. All right, roll out the shoulders a little bit. We're gonna move into our first plank interval. So let's go ahead into our plank position. We're gonna start standing upright. Bring those arms up overhead and fold it forward. And then walk it out into your plank. Getting your wrists under the shoulders and your feet about hip width apart. Sink those hips down in line between the shoulders and the heels. Pull that belly in tight. We're only holding this first one for 30 seconds. Make sure your head is nice and neutral and that neck is just sticking out straight from the spine. Focus in on your breath. We've just got 10 more seconds here. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and walk those feet in and bring it on up to stand. All right, moving into our next segment. We're gonna start in a first position. Heels are together, toes are turned out, heels are touching. We're gonna lift up onto the toes and then slide those heels back together so they're touching again. You should have a nice long line up through the body. Feel free to use your support here, or you can work in balance. Let's see if we can balance it out, creating that nice line through the body. Holding here. All right, we're gonna sink it down into plie. So dropping that tailbone straight to the heels. Let those knees bend out over the toes, sink straight down. Make sure your shoulders are stacked over the hips. Pull that center in tight. You should be creating a diamond shape in your legs. All right, from here, we're gonna go 2 inches up and down. Smooth, fluid movement. We're gonna add our arms, so press those palms together. As you plie down, bend those elbows, push the palms together, and then keeping the pressure on those hands, push them up towards the ceiling. Keep that belly pulled in tight. That's gonna help you with your balance and stability. Just a few more like this. Here's 3, 2. Hold this one down. Keep pushing those hands together. We're gonna pulse it out. Tiny, tiny, tiny little movement. Keep that center engaged. Keep those shoulders relaxed and down. Almost there on this pulse. 5, 4, 3, 2. Bring it to a hold. We're gonna bring those hands down to our hips. With our pelvis, we're gonna tuck that tailbone under and forward, squeezing in the glutes. Tuck it under, and then release it back to that start position. So it's a tuck and release, tuck, release. Tiny little movement. You should feel the work on the back side and in those hips. Modification on this, you can always lower those heels down and do this flat-footed. Making sure the shoulders are still stacked up over the hips. Few more like this. Here's 3, 2. We're gonna hold that tuck, and I want you to sink it down just maybe another ½ inch or maybe a full inch if you're able. Pull that center in tight, relax the shoulders. Bring those hands to heart center and hold. You should feel it in those quads. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Extend those legs all the way up, lower the heels, and shake it out. All right, heading into our second plank interval. So let's go ahead into that plank position. We're gonna start with a forward fold and walk those hands out, coming into your plank, making sure everything's stacked up. Wrists are underneath the shoulders, feet are hip width apart. Hips are in line between the shoulders and the heels. Nice straight line. If you start to feel your hips popping up or drooping down, set those knees down. This is a great way to modify your plank, still working on building endurance. All right, this time we're hanging out here for 45 seconds, a little bit longer. Focus in on that breath, keep it flowing. Check back in on that form, make sure nothing has shifted. All right, we've got about 10 more seconds here. Counting down from 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's step those feet in and roll it back on up to stand. Roll those shoulders back. All right, moving into segment number 3 in our bar workout. We're gonna be doing some rear corner lifts. So we're gonna start with our feet in a tight parallel position. You can place your hand on your support, or you can keep your hands at your hips and work in balance. We're gonna take that left leg and tap it straight back behind us, softening up that front knee and just hinging forward slightly in the hips. Pull that center in tight, open up the chest and bring the shoulders back. Point the toe on that back leg and push through the back of the knee to keep it straight. So finding your balance here, we're gonna take that leg, we're gonna lift it to the back corner. So coming up at an angle and then tapping back down to that start position. So it's a lift and lower. We're using our full range of motion here, which means you're pushing up into the resistance. You're gonna lift, find that point of resistance and push up a little higher into it. Make sure this standing leg is nice and soft in the knee. And focus in on that abdominal wall. You want to keep it zipped up tight. Three more like this. Here's 2. Here's our last one. We're gonna hold that leg up there. Push it nice and straight. Point that toe. Recenter, pull it in tighter, and we're gonna pulse 1 inch up and down. Now make sure your knee is locked in place. The work is coming from up here in the glute and in your obliques. So make sure the movement's coming from up high in the leg. Check your posture up top too. Make sure you're not collapsing. Keep everything tall and lifted and open. Almost there. 5, 4, 3, 2. Let's hold that leg nice and still. Find your balance. Lift it tall up through the spine. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it to stand. All right, wiggle that out a little bit. Other side, bringing those feet to a tight parallel position. We're gonna take that right leg straight back, tap it back. Go ahead and hover up that toe and hinge slightly forward, just an inch or 2 from the hips. Pull the center in, keep those shoulders back and relaxed, chest open. All right, from here, we're gonna do that rear corner lift. So let's go ahead and lift that leg, pushing up into that glute, and then tap it back down. Again, checking in on the form, making sure that standing leg has some wiggle room in that knee. Once you feel that balance center in, you can pick up your pace a little bit. Find that point of resistance and push up into it. Check in on your upper body. Pull that abdominal wall in tight. Shoulders are back and open. Just a few more like this. Keep pushing up into it. Here's 3, 2. This one we're gonna hold up there. Find your center. Straighten that leg. Push it long. Point that toe. Keep it soft in this standing leg. Pull that center in tight. All right, from here we're adding that pulse. 1 inch up and down. Check where that movement's coming from. Make sure it's not the knee. Keep that knee locked in place. Movement's coming from up high. You should feel a lot of work in this standing leg as well. You may even be hitting fatigue, and that's okay. That's the point where we're building endurance. But listen to your body. If that leg has had enough, take a break and then jump back in. Keep that working leg pushed out long. We're almost there. Stay focused on good form. 5, 4, 3, 2. Here comes that hold. Hold that leg straight, push it long. Extend those arms along the ears, reach tall to the ceiling. Pull that belly in as tight as you can. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. All right, wiggle that out a little bit. We're moving into our last plank segment. We're going for a full minute here. So let's go ahead and start at the end of our mat. Bring those arms up and let's fold it over. And then walk it out to our plank position. Make sure again those wrists are under your shoulders. Fingertips are pointing forward. Get that belly pulled up into the spine as tight as you can. Create that nice line from your shoulders to your heels. Head is in a nice neutral position. Focus in on your breath. Planks are a great thing to practice as they build strength and balance in the body. You should feel all of your major muscle groups working hard here. Find that breathing rhythm that works for you. All right, we're closing in on a minute here. Focus in on that form. Finish these strong. We're almost there. Counting down from 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and set those knees down. We're going to sink it back into child's pose. Resting those hips over the heels. Extend those arms nice and long. Reach out through the fingertips. Take a couple of good breaths here. And let's rise back up. We're going to come back up to our feet for a quick stretch. Let's go ahead and get our feet underneath us, toes pointed forward for a quad stretch. You can use your support if you want to. Go ahead and pull that left heel into the glute. Aim that knee straight to the floor. You can do this work in balance as well. Pull that center in and lift in the spine. If you're able, reach that arm to the ceiling. Reach it alongside the ear. Pull that belly in tight. Push your foot into your hand to get a deeper stretch in that quad. And bringing that hand down to the hip, release the foot, cross it over the opposite knee. Let that knee fall open. And we're gonna sink it down into a figure 4 stretch, sitting back into the hips, feeling everything on the back side open up. And go ahead on up to stand. Take that foot, cross it over the other side. Pull those legs in tight together. Hinging from the hips with a flat back, we're gonna take it forward and hold it at that halfway position. You can lace your fingertips together behind you. And bring it back on up to stand and cross those feet. Let's go to the other side. Back to that tight parallel position. Pull that right heel into the glute and aim that knee to the floor. Pull that belly in tight. And if you can, extend that arm and reach tall, lengthening up in the spine. And let's go ahead and bring that hand down to the hip, release the foot and cross it over the other knee. Let this leg fall open and sink it down. Figure 4 stretch, melt into it. Three, 2, 1. Bring it on up to stand. Take that foot and cross it over the other side. Lift up tall, pull those legs in together, pull in that belly, and with a flat back, hinge it forward. And bring it back on up to stand. Bring those feet back to parallel position. We're gonna extend those arms up overhead and then press the palms together. Create a line through the body, lengthen up. Holding this, go ahead and bend those elbows and bring those fingertips down between the shoulder blades, getting a nice stretch on those triceps. And then extend those arms back up and drop those hands down into heart center. Sink into the knees a little bit, but keep the shoulders stacked over the hips. We're gonna twist it to the left, pull that elbow around and hold. And back to center, and now to the right. And back to center. Extend those arms up. One more fold forward. We're gonna take it down all the way to the floor. Lengthening out, let that head drop down. And one vertebra at a time. We're gonna roll up to stand, nice and slow. Take those shoulders back. And now forward. And standing up tall, you can bring your hands into heart center. We're gonna finish with some breath work. So lifting tall, you can even close your eyes here. Focusing in, deep breath, inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale and exhale. And open those eyes. Thanks again for joining me for this bar workout. Stay tuned for more videos from the studio. Have a beautiful day.